Once again, this is Daniel Busch. I'm sitting here with none other than the Floydster himself, Jimmy Mataya, 4-time world champion. And we are at the Rum Runner. It's like coming down to the final 5 players. We've got Lance Salazar and Brian Parks getting ready to play right now on the main feature table. And then on our secondary table here, we've got David Dittillo and Warren Kiamko, and it's a 0-0 over there. So we're going to be jumping back and forth there between these two matches. Brian Parks, are you familiar with him? He won one of these.
Oh, yes. He's a terrific player. And I want to tell you something else is really amazing to me. I mean, I've seen a million players my whole life, played a million guys and this and that, but I'll tell you what. I have never seen a guy like this Dave Dittillo. I mean, here's a guy 190 years old, and the older he gets, the better he plays. It's mind-boggling to me how a guy at his age, I mean, he's well into his 70s, and it's like every year that goes by, he plays better. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Well, I tell you, Warren's shooting against him right now, and that's Warren standing at the table. But you're right. Dave Dittillo, a couple of years ago was questioning whether or not he was getting too old to play these events, and it's such a nice treat to see him finish so high in the top 8 players.
Well, I talked to him one night, and he, and I was, wondering about this, and he said, well, I started to play good when I was 65.
Mm-hmm.
Well, meanwhile, he just keeps getting better and better and better. I don't know how old he is right now. I got to guess somewhere around 73, 74 years old. And he still says he's still getting better. How do you get better when you're 130 years old? I don't know. I don't get it. Man, unbelievable. I mean, he's an unbelievable. I just can't believe, unbelievable.
So we also got Bay Area local Lance Salazar battling it out right now against Brian Parks. Brian Parks won the Andy Mercer Memorial here in 2008. Mm-hmm. He's a 5-time APA U.S. amateur champion. And although in my opinion, he plays pro speed, he would never tell you he's a professional pool player.
He's an undercover guy, I can tell you that. He's no amateur. You can forget about that. He's a terrific player.
Yeah, he's holding court right now on the main feature table. That's him in the baseball cap, and it looks like he's got a pretty easy table layout there.
I'll have to get my glasses on so I can see what's going on.
And once again, Jimmy, I just want to say it's an honor to have you here with us. It's not every day we get to talk to the real icons of the pool world. And these events, a lot of times we just don't get the exposure to guys like you that we normally do. So thanks so much for spending some time with us.
No, I thank you for inviting me into the booth. I've been around the sport for 60 years now. I don't play anymore, but I love to watch good players play. And when you come to the Mercer Open, well, then you're going to see some of the top players in the world. So it's fun for me to be here and to watch them play.
So it looks like Brian takes the first game, and I think Warren Kiamko took that second game over the first game over there. So it's 1-0 Warren. Oh, Dave Dittillo took the first game. Dave Dittillo took the first game against, he's not playing, wait a minute. Oh, Jim Blakeman is helping to rack the balls over there. Are there some issues with the racking? Does anybody know?
There's always problems about the rack. And, if a guy is making balls on a break, his opponent is complaining. If the guy's not making balls on a break, then he's complaining. So, everybody's always complaining about the rack and this and that. You know what? Get up there and play. Keep your mouth shut. and try to do the best you can. You know, it's the same for everybody. I mean, these guys they're getting to be like little girls or something. They're always complaining about this and that. Get up there and play the game. That's all. It's the same for everyone. You know. So.
Well, that's what Lance is doing right now. He made a ball on the break, and look at that. He got great shape on the 2-ball, and he broke out that 3-5. So that kind of opens up the possibilities for him.
Now, which screen am I looking?
We're looking at this table, sir.
I'm
this
looking
table.
at this. Okay, we got a bunch of screens here. I got it figured out now.
And so he got that 3-ball that he broke out, and it looks pretty good from here. This will give Lance a chance to tie up the game at 1-1. He just has to execute.
Well, at this stage of the game, Daniel, you're looking at well-oiled machines, okay? You give these guys a shot, you're in a lot of trouble. Simple as that.
Now, that's something I've noticed. As you get later through the tournaments, sometimes you'll see good players. They don't play so good in the beginning, but then by the end of the events, close towards the end of the events, that's when they really started getting in stroke now, too. They got the tables dialed in, the break dialed in.
It's a game of momentum, and it's a game of concentration. Concentration and execution, that's what pool is. And you can get these guys that are zoomed in, that are superstars in this game. You just can't give them any kind of a shot because, basically the game is almost over.
Well, looks like the 50-yard line here for Lance. That's a tough shot. Oh, no. Hold on. I thought the 9 was the cue.
No,
I need my glasses.
I don't really know what he's looking at here. Oh, he's waiting for the other player to get out of the way on the next table.
Incoming player, Warren Kiamko.
Not a problem. Waltzing that cue ball around, and that's what it's all about, Daniel, the snowball. You got to take care of that snowball. They're all excellent shot makers, but the key of the game really is the snow. You got to handle snow, put snow where you want it to go, and you're in business.
And while Lance is breaking, we'll just quickly toggle over to see Warren Kiamko, who is making quick work of his rack. And it looks like Warren Kiamko's going to tie up his game with David Attillo. It'll be 1-1 over there. Back now to Brian Parks. Brian Parks plays a good break. One ball went to the side, and the cue ball drops.
The cue ball went in the other side, okay? Once again, telling you about trying to make that one ball in the side. You're flirting with a scratch, You're flirting with a scratch when you keep trying to make the one ball in the side. You're cutting that cue ball loose, going across the table, and you're always flirting with the scratch.
Yep, I know, Jimmy. You're not a big fan of that cut break.
No, I'm not. I mean, if you got a good, powerful break, get up and break them. Don't try to make the one in the side and then flirt with danger of scratching. And we say, if you do make the one in the side, where's the two? It doesn't mean you have a shot, I say for my money, get up there and bust them, Park that cue ball right in the center of the table. And these guys, they have fantastic breaks, so there's no problem with them doing that. So I don't know why they're always looking to try to play the one in the side. I don't know.
Well, maybe Brian will take your advice because, as you can see, with ball in hand, Lance doesn't seem to be having any issues.
You give these guys ball in hand, you're dead meat. I want to tell you that because they just play too good, Outstanding shot makers. Well-oiled machines, my friend. And
oh, no.
There's a critical miss right there.
Oh, maybe I jinxed him, Jimmy.
Yeah, and you did. You put the kiss of death on him.
Brian doesn't waste any time. And it's going to be Lance's break next. Alternate break format.
Now, is this match here between Brian and Lance, is this a winner side match? Or
It's a one-loss match. These guys are.
the loser's going to take a ride home.
The hot seat match is going to be Mitch Ellerman and Shane Van Boning.
Oh, what a terrific match that'll be.
Quickly taking another look here. It's 1-1 over there between Warren and Dave DiTillo. Warren is at the table. He's got a rough-looking table there.
Yeah, this is.
Oh, wait a minute, though. See the 3-9?
Yeah, but you got to put that snowball in a good position.
Oh, he missed the ball. He missed the 2 completely. Forget about the snowball, Jimmy.
Yeah, he missed it badly. He butchered the shot. Oh, well, listen, any ball is missable. I mean, this is a difficult game. I mean, these guys make it look easy at times, but any ball can be missed.
Lance Salazar's break. Yeah, this is a one-loss side match. I believe these guys are for 5th, 6th, and 7th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, 8th.
Yeah, the field is
not
dwindling
mistaken.
down. There's no doubt about that. We are dwindling down here at the Mercer.
There's a tournament bracket on the League Pool Stats website.
You got to get on this 3-ball, Brian does. He's hitting it with some inside English. Very nice shot.
That
Coming
was
up
nice.
for the 3. Got the perfect position for the 4. Now there's a problem. It's not a big problem, but it's a problem. He's straight in on the 4. The 5 is over on the other side of the table, close to the rail. He would like to be able to do something with his cue ball to get it off the rail, but he's just going to roll it down there and make sure he makes the ball. That's the most important thing. Make sure you make the ball. There's a number of shots like that you're trying to do something with the cue ball, and you end up missing the shot.
A lot of balls on the rail on this table. A lot of work to do.
Yeah, the 8 ball's in a difficult spot.
I don't think it's sitting high enough to play off the 8 here. So he's just going to go direct. Straight in, but...
Yeah, this is not good either.
Yeah, Brian wanted a little angle here so that he could float down a little further.
He might go rail first here, and I think that's what he did. I think he went rail first there.
Slightly, yeah.
But this is not an easy shot. He has a decent position for the 8 ball, no question, but this is not an easy shot.
No, it's not. This is the kind of shot you should get an extra bonus for.
Mm-hmm.
It went.
Nice shot. Nice
It
shot.
was.
Feathered the ball. He's a guy playing with a lot of confidence right now, I can tell you that.
There you go.
Very nice run out. Very nice.
2-1, Brian Parks. 3-1. I'm sorry. Gosh, these racks are moving fast. Thank you. Meanwhile, every time we go back to the table, it's Warren Kiamko. I thought you said Dave DiTillo was playing well.
Well, don't worry. The match is not over yet, so don't worry about it.
I can't wait to see Dave at the table. I want to watch him shoot a couple.
Unbelievable the stuff that he does. I mean, at his age.
Have you been watching a couple of his games?
I see what he does down at these tournaments every year, and it comes summertime when all the leagues and all that come into the casinos, and man, he's right up there every year. I mean, it's amazing to me. The guy just keeps getting better and better, and he's 1,000 years old.
Okay, quickly now back to our feature table. We got Brian Parks at the rack, almost scratched in the side. He didn't listen to you at all. He just played the same break.
He got fortunate there that he didn't scratch in the side.
But he did break dry, and they took the rack off the table.
Yeah.
I tell you what, the way this table's laid out, the 1 to the 2 looks like the hardest shot.
No, I think the 2 to the 3. 2 to the 3.
Well, if that's the he looked.
If you take a look at the 3 ball, Daniel, there's balls blocking both corner pockets. So where you can get an open shot on a 3 is to have to play it in one of the side pockets. So I would venture to say he's going to try to put the cue ball somewhere where he can pocket the red ball, the 3 ball, into the side pocket, one of the side pockets.
He's just going to spin it up table slowly.
And you're going to play the 3 in the side pocket. Okay. He would like to have gotten a little bit more straighter, but should not be that much of a problem for him. He's playing good. He's hitting the balls well. This one he hit a little bit short. Now your guess is as good as mine. You're going to try to cut this in or try to bank it? I think he's going to try to cut it in. Okay, good shot. Good shot.
Wow.
Okay.
This guy Lance is playing like he's got a bus to catch.
Yeah. I would say he's probably maybe going to go rail first here. Maybe rail first. No, didn't draw it back out.
Just stunned down.
Well, this was a nice run out. He was very fortunate on the 1 ball. It was going into the side pocket, and the 1 ball kissed it out. And he ended up with a straight-in shot on the 1 ball and ran the table. So nice run out there.
Warren Kiamko breaking. I don't know, Jimmy. I think Warren Kiamko's just playing himself.
Yeah.
It's 2-1 Warren against Dave DiTillo. I got to tell you, actually, Dave DiTillo and I were teammates on the BCA one time, and I know him. I played him a lot of tournaments at Mr. Lucky's in Hawthorne, and I got to know Dave, starting around 12 years ago. I got to know him a little bit, and he is a hell of a player and a nice guy, too.
Yeah, real nice guy.
And, you can never count out Dave DiTillo.
No, it's amazing the guy plays as well as he does at his age, and just keeps playing better and better. I don't get it. How do you do that?
He's a grinder.
Oh man, I mean to tell you, he'll make you fight to win a game too. I mean he plays excellent safeties.
He moved here to Nevada a couple years ago. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, maybe 3 years ago.
And where's he from originally?
Well, I know him from California, from the Hawthorne area, where I used to play a lot at Mr. Lucky's.
Mr. Lucky's.
Yeah, Chad. I forgot his last name, but Chad's room. I just call it Chad's room. And Lance Salazar made a ball on the break, and he's making short work of this rack.
Yeah. These guys are in stroke. They ain't going to take them long.
Score's actually 3-2 over here, too, by the way. Score correction.
Now you have to think a little bit. Where do you want to play this 8 ball? In the left-hand corner pocket or in the right-hand corner pocket?
Well, I like coming up for the left-hand or the right-hand corner pocket, just like that.
Yeah, perfect speed on the cue ball. He's handling the snowball rather well. He's got the speed of the table down, the cloth, the speed of the table. He's got it down packed. Ryan's just going to concede this game and rag him up.
Back to table 3. Warren runs out from the break, making it 3-1 against Dave DiTillo. And Brian Parks already stepping up to the table to break his rack, so we're not even going to get to see Dave DiTillo break. Oh, no, they're still racking. Who knows? We might get a chance to see them. So, Jimmy, question for you.
Okay.
I want to talk about the Moscone Cup.
The Moscone Cup. That's an interesting, bizarre situation.
We've seen the USA get destroyed over the last 6 years.
Let's try about the last 8 or 9 years in a row that they have gotten, like you say, destroyed.
So, in your opinion, they've been making changes too. It almost seems like every year they make changes, and
Yeah.
whatever they're doing still doesn't seem to work for USA. Do you think it's just that the European team is too good?
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I put in my resume 3 years ago to coach this team. I mean, I live in this city. You come and invade in my territory every 2 years with a fantastic team, the Europeans. But I have been denied annually for the last 3 years to try to coach this team. When I look at this team, I see no chemistry at all with the Americans. I see coaches that have no emotion at all. How are you going to motivate a team if the coach has no motivation? I mean, where did they get these guys from to coach this team? And now this past year when they came here to Vegas again in December, now you got a guy from Russia coaching Team USA. Well, I don't get it. Isn't it? You ever hear of the Ryder Cup in golf? That's America versus Europe. Well, you know what the Mosconi Cup is? It's America versus Europe. For what reason, I would like to know, do you have a guy from Russia coaching Team USA? Now, I just don't get it. You've defeated the whole purpose of even having the Mosconi Cup. Now, if I don't get the shot to coach this team, I mean, if they're that intimidated by me, just go ahead and say so. But to me, it is an absolute joke that you got somebody from Russia coaching Team USA, a guy that I never heard of in my life. I mean, I don't get it. Something's not right there. Now, as far as I can consider it myself, to be honest with you, if you're not going to give me a shot to coach this team, I can only consider it as an act of cowardness. And you can tell the people over there in Mario, England, and I mean, I like these guys. They're great guys. I love what they're doing for pool. The Mosconi Cup is probably the most exciting event I've ever seen in my life.
I'll agree with you. I absolutely agree.
But, you're going to refuse me to give me a shot in my town. I know a little something about this game, and I tell you what, it doesn't matter to me whether players on Team America like me or not. My job is to try to teach them what I know about offense and defense and mental state of mind and just toughness. When I look at them play, it looks to me like a bunch of guys sitting there just waiting to get beat. Well, that ain't going to happen on my watch. Okay, I'll guarantee you I'll bring the Mosconi Cup back to the United States where it belongs. And you can tell them people over there in England or Russia or anywhere else what I said.
Okay, that's a mouthful. That's to say the least. But what about this? Okay. Besides all of that, what about the particulars of it? Do you think it's morale, execution? What do you think, or just the actual team members?
I see a lot of chemistry on Team Europe. I don't see anything on USA. What I see on the Team USA is every man for himself. Well, that's not the way you play a team tournament. One guy does not control the show. It's like they all just want to, they're all for themselves. There's no chemistry there. Well, I intend to change that. I can tell you that. If I see somebody hot dogging it and this and that and acting like they don't care, well, you know what? For my money, they can go to the back of the bench and they can forfeit the next match as far as I'm concerned, because I don't want them out there if they're not going to give it their all. Team Europe is an amazing team, great bunch of guys, amazing talent. But if you don't want to get out there and fight, then you know what? Let somebody else play.
Now, let's see. I have a friend. His name is Mark Cantrill. He's a pool promoter. And he came up with a very interesting idea to me. He said, maybe the Mosconi Cup, you should stick to the same 5 players. Give them 5 years. And do, work on the team building over a period of time. Let them stick together. What's your opinion on that?
I don't agree with that at all. What I agree with is performance, and what I see from Team USA is a bunch of guys that are getting pretty old. I mean, some of these guys that are on that team, I mean, they've been around for a long time. When you're looking at the Europeans, you're looking at young blood, you're looking at gunslingers, and I mean, if I would like to be able to choose my own team, okay?
Yeah.
But I know that's not the way it works. But one thing I can tell you, when the Americans are awarding points for the Mosconi Cup, for how well you did out here on bar table tournaments, Are you kidding me? Let me tell you something, my friend. When bar table champion meets big table champion on a big table, bar table champion has no chance of winning. So how can you award points for a bar table tournament for somebody to qualify for America to play on the Moscone Cup because you did well on a bar table tournament? Bar table champions has no chance.
Okay.
No chance.
Okay, you know what? I agree with you there. And I think that was a mistake that the Matchroom Sports, management, they chose to go that route a couple of years ago. They've since changed that. They're not adding the bar table events as points events. In fact, I don't even think this year they're doing points events.
Well, it was amazing to me that you would ever do that in the first place. What has a bar table got to do with a big table?
Definitely food for thought from Jimmy Mataya regarding the Moscone Cup.
Well,
we should
like
talk about that more later.
I'm calling them out. I'm calling them out. The people from England, Russia, whoever, wherever they come from, I'm calling them out. You want to come here to my town? Let me coach this team. You got some guy from Russia. I ain't never heard of this guy. Who is this guy? I don't know. Maybe a nice guy, but what's the difference? This is not a sport that you're here to be nice. This is a sport that you're here to win. You understand?
I tell you what, you lose 8 years in a row, I'd give you a shot anyway. You got nothing to lose.
It's terrible. I mean, where are the and it's not only the guy bringing in a guy from Russia to coach the United States. Look at the coaches that they've had for Team USA in recent years before he ever came around. Now, where did you get these guys? Out of a box of Cracker Jacks? Are you kidding me? You give me that shot to coach this team, I'm going to put some fire under their rear end. I guarantee you that. And if I can't bring the Moscone Cup back to the United States where it belongs, there's a good chance I'll leave this country and you'll never see me again. And you can take that back to England and tell them what I said.
Jimmy, I didn't mean to get you so heated.
No, I'm heated. I'm ready to go right now. I wish they were coming to town this year, but they're not. They're going back to England, and I wish the Americans all the best. But come December next year, you're coming into my neighborhood again. Well, don't bring no Chinese coach with you or Russian or anything else. You want something to do with me? I'm here. You want some of me? Come and get me. And as simple as that.
Let me ask you this. Would you consider being a corner man for the team? Like, say they didn't, they might have their reasons for not wanting you to coach them, but what if they asked you to be a corner man?
Corner man?
Or some sort of field coach?
I'll be a cut man, and I'll tell you who I'll be mending. I'll be mending Team Europeans. I'll be putting bandages over their eyes and helping them out, because I intend to turn Team USA around because they are an embarrassment, in my opinion.
Wow.
And tell them what I said.
I don't think I need to. I think you've done it.
Come to my hometown with a Russian coach. Are you kidding me, pal?
Well, I think he's signed on for maybe 3 years.
Hey, maybe I can move over there to Russia and I coach the European team. I mean, give me a break, man. What is going on with pool?
Bottom line is, you still watch the Moscone. It's
the most exciting event I have ever seen. I mean, it is just wonderful, and I commend the people from England, Barry Hearns and Luke Riches, the great job that they have done over the years to bring us pool and bring us exciting pool. But to do what they've been doing lately, it's not the Moscone Cup no more. It's like America and Europe versus Europe. Well, that's not the Moscone Cup, okay?
Well, thanks a lot. I wanted to give you an opportunity to speak your thoughts on it.
Well, I'm calling them out. I'm calling them out. You want some of me? Come and get me. You don't want none of me? Well, you're that intimidated by me? Well, then take the pot. You know what I mean? Take the pot.
Well, I'll be the first person to say that, I'd vouch for you. I definitely would, You
well, I've been around this sport.
You do what you do. You mean what you say, and you don't beat around the bush.
No,
and I think that's the kind of discipline or the kind of tough love that Team USA actually needs at this point.
Well, they need something because they just look helpless to me. They look like little girls. They really do. I mean, it's embarrassing. I mean, I've been around this sport for 60 years. My God, if I can't help somebody's game offensively or defensively and this and that, etc., then there's something wrong with me, okay? I can't motivate these guys. I got to look at them in the mirror at me, not them.
So we've been taking some liberties here, talking about Mosconi with Jimmy Mataya, but meanwhile, Brian Parks is looking to get on the hill against Lance Salazar. And he looks, yeah, he's got it. So he's got a hill
He is on
3
the hill.
game. And let's see, I wonder if we toggle over, will Warren be shooting? Well, lo and behold, what is going on? I want to see Dave shoot
I
a
haven't
couple
seen
of
him
balls.
at the table yet. Where's he at? In the
I
bathroom?
know.
I don't know what's going on. Where's he at?
Daniel. Oh, no, I haven't seen him here. He hasn't been here. He's in California.
Two balls on the break here for Brian Parks. Has an excellent shot on the 2 ball.
All right, sorry, guys. What did I miss? Oh, my goodness.
You're missing a good run out here by Brian Parks. He is in
My
good
Lord,
good
it looks
shape.
like Brian's going to take this match.
Well, there's a problem with getting to the 6 to the 7. You want to get straight in on the 6 because it's a tough shot going down a rail. But what are you going to do with the 7 ball?
Well, maybe he's going to roll forward and play the 7 to the side.
That's a good assumption, Daniel. Playing high English with the cue ball and play the 7 in the opposite side pocket.
Yeah.
He may try to stop this ball and play the 7 ball. Wow, nice stroke there. Nice stroke. Look at this.
This ball's rolling.
Very nice stroke. Very nice stroke.
Yeah, but Jimmy, I'm not sure. I'm not sure it goes.
I think he has a shot from the looks of it up here. I don't know.
No, I think this is the Heartbreak Hotel right now. He may be. I think
you're right. He's looking at it. He definitely cannot make this ball, or it's going to be very close.
I'm not even sure it's worth it to try to masse it in. It's like a semi-masse shot. Boy,
this could be a safety. I'll tell you, a good safety here is maybe just bank the ball straight back and try to put it to the center of the rail. Or he's maybe going to try to hook him behind the 8. I don't know. I can't tell from the angle that he's got. But he's obviously, as you said, in a little bit of trouble here.
We got a guy named Jose Cuervo from the Las Vegas Pool Players Group. He says, his name is Dion Lopez. He says, thank you, Jimmy Mataya. I've been saying the same thing. Oh, hold on a second here. I've been saying the same thing about chemistry and a Russian captain when it comes to the U.S. Mosconi Cup team. I agree with everything you're saying.
Well, now there's a guy that sounds like he knows what he's talking about. I commend him. Try explaining that to these other people, okay?
But I don't know. I don't know if it's really. I mean, could it just be that Europe has a much better Q sports industry, a much more flourishing
I'll tell
sport
you what,
that they get trained earlier, they just become reared earlier, and and there's not as much gambling as there is out here. Are there fundamental differences in the way that they're brought up as pool players?
Absolutely. There's a big difference between Asian players, European players, and American players. American players have been built throughout the years, egos and jealousy. okay? There's a lot of egos and jealousy. And how do you put together a team that's jealous of the other players and so on and so forth? And not only that, they don't work on their game the way the Asian players do, the way the European players do. You know, they just get up there, wham, bam, and slam. Thank you, ma'am. They don't work on their game. They don't play three-cushion billiards. They don't try to improve themselves. Well, let me tell you something. These Europeans and Asian players, they can flat out play, amigo. I mean, many years ago, I remember in tournaments back in the 60s and the 70s, if you played somebody from Asia or Europe, you basically got a bye. The Americans were the best. The Asian players and the European players didn't really know how to play the game at that time. Well, they know how to play it now, Daddy. And let me tell you, they play jam spam. And you got to get fired up and play them guys. You can't be intimidated by them. I look at Team USA and they're intimidated by these people.
I mean, I know that in Asian countries, they've got these kids training at the age of 4 years old, you know, like just teaching them mechanics and, you know, they've got them on snooker tables and, you know.
You have a lot of people over there that are living in poverty. They want to get out of there somehow. Well, one of their tickets is to play professional pool. And they work hard at their game. I mean, extremely hard.
But how does that explain, say, the caliber of players that come from the Philippines who are out of a third world country that play pool in these shanty towns that, you know,
and it's
bad quality equipment. You know, how do you explain that?
Well, when they come over here, they get to play for the first time in their life on very nice equipment. Let me tell you something. When you can run racks over there and there's straw all over the table or whatever, I mean, you know, they come from a school of hard knocks.
I mean, I'm not saying that about all the rooms. I've seen a lot of rooms on, you know, YouTube in the Philippines, and it's not all that bad, but
they play under tough conditions compared to the Americans, you know. And when you can play under those conditions and you come over here and play under these conditions, well, now look out. You know.
Let me ask you this question: do you think bigger pockets build confidence?
Bigger pockets?
Yeah. So, like, you know, nowadays we've got tables that are 4-inch pockets, 4 1/8. Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember when pockets were 4 1/4, 4 1/2. And that was the standard, you know. But now, you know, this professional pool is in America. We're all looking for the tighter pockets, and it changes the way the game is played. And so, bigger pockets, I think, you know, can build confidence for a player because they know they're working more, not so much on making the ball, but building pattern strength and. You know what I mean? Like the table speed and all the other parts, the nuances of a game that are also just as important as making the shot.
Well, I'll tell you one problem that the Americans have when they're trying to beat the Europeans. The Europeans are used to playing on snooker tables. And the bigger table that you play on, it's going to be much easier to go to a smaller table. You know, you're playing on 6x12 snooker tables, and now you come over here and you're playing on a 4.5x9. It's the same thing with a big table champion. When he gets to a bar table, it seems much easier to him. And that's a big difference, you know. They're used to playing on these big tables, and they're terrific shot makers.
Okay. So it's a mystery in a way. There's so many things that could change here, but they just don't seem to, do they?
Well, I look at the Americans as a team that's intimidated by their opponent. And when you're intimidated by your opponent, you're not going to do very well. Simple as that.
And with that, my friends, Brian Parks takes it. The 5-time U.S. amateur champion, winner of the Swanee 2016, owner of the cue ball in Bakersfield. He takes this match against Lance Salazar. He's a great player, and so is Lance, actually. But just toward the end there, things weren't going his way. So We're going to get started right now. The hot seat match will be Shane Van Boning and Warren Kiamko. And
No, this is Mitch Ellerman and Shane Van
I mean,
Boning.
sorry, Shane Van Boning and Mitch Ellerman. I'm sorry.
Wow, terrific match here. I mean, unbelievable match here, Ellerman and Van Boning.
Hey, we want to check in. Check in with. Oh, okay, he's going to go.
Joe Canella, one of the Italian connections here, Joe Canella.
The Italian connection.
Yep.
All right, so this match coming up next, Mitch Ellerman versus Shane Van Boning. And Shane Van Boning, USA Team USA player.
Well, I give him a lot of respect. He's one of the guys that I